high in a remote area of the Otzi Alps in northern Italy sometime around 5,300 years ago. Otzi the Iceman was out doing what most men at the time did, which was most likely hunting to provide for his family. What caused someone to walk up behind him and shoot him in the back and take his life is unknown, but we do know that not only did it happen, whomever it was had even walked up to him and jerked the arrow out of his back after his death. He lay there for over 5,000 years, where he was found near a glacier near the border of Italy and Austria on September 19, 1991 by some hikers named Erica and Helmut Simon. As the couple were descending from the Finale Peak in the Tizenjoch area of the Otzi Alps, they decided to take a shortcut off the beaten path. When they did, they noticed something brown sticking out of the ice. Much to their horror, it was a human corpse. Although they could see the back of the head, arms, and back, the bottom of the torso was still embedded in the ice. The couple rushed to the Similon refuge, armed with a photograph of what they had found. Their first thought was that a modern-day hiker had fallen into the ice and had died from exposure, but they couldn't have been more wrong. What they were about to learn would really shock them. It took a team of excavators 4 days to eventually remove the body from the ice. On September 23rd, Otzi, as he's become to be known, was on his way to the town of Vent, where his body was transferred to a wooden coffin and taken to the Institute of Forensic Medicine in Innsbruck. There, archaeologist Konrad Spindler determined that the body found in the ice was definitely not a modern man. Instead, he was at least 4,000 years old. Otzi was one of the most amazing archaeological finds of the century. Among the items found with Otzi were a copper blade axe, 14 arrows, a fire starter, a birch bark container, a piece of ibex meat, a grass cape, a dagger with an ash handle and flint blade in a sheath, a half-finished yew-wood longbow, a quiver filled with mostly half-finished arrows, an arrow repair kit, medicine, and pieces of antler used to make arrows. He carried embers wrapped in maple leaves placed in a birch bark container, which shows that Neolithic people carried fire from place to place rather than started new fires from scratch. The presence of significant amounts of moss suggests he might have used it to wrap his food or even as toilet paper. Otzi lived around 3300 BC, according to radiocarbon dating, which places him in between Copper and Bronze Age, when metals were first regularly used for tools and weapons. He had medium-length wavy dark hair and wore a beard. Otzi was likely like a farmer or a shepherd. Some speculate he was a shaman based on presence of tattoos on his body. The Iceman was so well preserved, we can even tell that he was most likely involved in some type of combat or battle due to the injuries on his hands and face, as well as the injuries he sustained from the arrow being jerked from his back after death. We can even tell what he had as a final meal, which was consumed probably less than 2 hours before his untimely demise, which was ibex meat and fat, einkorn cereals, red deer, and traces of the toxic bracken fern. He's not only the world's best preserved and oldest known mummy ever to be found, they even found some rare, red blood cells in which they could gather a DNA test, and the results were mind-blowing. Even though Otzi is over 5,000 years old, even predating the time of Christ, it's been found that the cursed mummy has at least 19 living relatives today that are descendants to him. Is that crazy or what? Researchers have been trying to track them all down in time for a ceremony that will celebrate the finding of Otzi. As fascinating as all that is, it's the supposed curse that has taken the lives of countless people who have come in contact with him that we are here to discuss today. The first known victim was Rainer Henn, 64, forensic pathologist from the University of Innsbruck. Henn was one of the first people to make close contact with the Iceman, even picking up the cadaver with his bare hands to place it in a body bag. He was killed in a car accident on his way to a conference about his research work involving the frozen Iceman. Not long after, 52-year-old Kurt Fritz, the mountaineer who led Henn to Otzi's body, died in an avalanche. Fritz was an experienced climber who knew the area well. Fritz was the only member of his party to be struck. Rainer Holz, who was only 47, made a documentary about Otzi's find and recovery, died of a brain tumor. Starting to get strange, isn't it? He wouldn't be the last. Remember the couple who found Otzi? Helmut Simon, 69, was found dead in a stream after a 300-foot fall. Dieter Warnecke, 45, head of the rescue team who looked for Simon's body, also died of heart attack soon after Simon's funeral. Tom Loy, 63, molecular archaeologist, who made remarkable discoveries about Otzi's clothing and weapons, died from a hereditary blood disease. After so many people who came into contact with Otzi suffering such mysterious deaths, many people have refused to go anywhere near the spooky-looking mummy. Can you blame them though? Aside from all the deaths, many others who have come in contact have reported all types of bad luck, ranging from car accidents, all types of sickness, and some even blaming their divorces on the supposed curse. After many years of study at Innsbruck University, Otzi was transported to South Tyrol, Italy, where he was to be further studied and put on display. Otzi now resides at the South Tyrol Museum of Archaeology. He's encased within a specially made chamber, which is kept dark and refrigerated to help preserve his body. Visitors to the museum can glimpse Otzi through a small window. What do you think? Would you risk it going near the Iceman? I don't know if I would, but if you do and live to tell about it, we'd love to hear about it in the comments section below. We'd also love it as you check out our social links and follow them in the comments section. Hope you enjoyed this week's story. Thanks again for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. Till next time.